the issues you struggle with here locally, I believe, are symptoms of much more profound issues which are global. We talk about similar issues in a quite different context in South Sudan. These changes are not peculiar to Britain, they're not peculiar to the British welfare state, although they do take particular manifestations here.
To bring together people of different faiths, different cultures, and different communities, different ages in one space, that's where we've generated diversity, complexity, and intelligence. We only get that through diversity. None of the work that we do by ourselves. Our work is a response to and a partnership with our local communities, our local public agencies, our local fellow travellers. People are also interested in the same things that we are interested in. I think in the presentation that I gave earlier on, one of the key things is we now live in a different type of world. The world that we were all very familiar with, the safe, secure world, has been deteriorating and eroding for quite a while. And we've kind of felt that and we sense that. And, you know, working with health and social care, for example, we know some of the trajectories of poor health outcomes, diabetes, dementia, depression. Our public institutions are standing on burning platforms.
Well, I think the basic idea in co-production is that you don't deliver services to other people as if they were pizzas delivered to the door. You have to develop them together out of a relationship. And every person, every organisation, every community is different. So it will always take a different form.
Well, the whole idea about co-production is that we provide the safe area, we provide the expertise of our community, so the knowledge base and the way we know what we need to heal our own communities. And what WCN has done is been able to bring both the NHS and us together as equals, and to be able to exchange ideas and to be able to create a package that will be the best and most effective treatment for the patient or for the client.
So I think that the Community Empowerment Network in Wandsworth, it draws its strength from its relationship with others. John Bennington talked about the importance of energy, and he saw that as being maybe a force that we need to think of alongside budgets and lawmaking. That energy and giving energy and transmitting the development of other people's ability to act is a very important quality, and I agree with him. And I think that for organisations like the Community Empowerment Network, it's how they can help both draw from other people's energy and to give it back again.
I feel community-based services would be more easily accessible than the NHS because it's quite a lot of paperwork, and sometimes people who don't speak the language, they're quite lost to it.
Well, it was definitely inspiring to hear all of the talk about new futures and positive social change, and sort of an idea about moving towards something different in health services. And I think that it was great to have such a mix of people, to have academics, practitioners, people from the third sector and charity groups coming together to actually think about how that might actually come to pass, how we can use what we do know, because we do know so much about what's good and what we can, what will work and how to make sure that it works in the future. And now this was sort of an opportunity to see how people are willing to learn from that and sort of take those steps forward.
And I think one of the great things for me is sitting in the session. I sat in the session on family therapy groups, and it was so interesting listening to different people in the faith communities coming together about the course and their learning from being on the course. But equally, the big message to me is that networks can work together across different faith communities. There's much more that we share than that divides us, and that's a really important message to get out to more widely as to the opportunities to work more closely together if we can understand each other better.
It's important to be thinking about things, and we're living through a period of very rapid change, where many people are uncertain and confused about what the present is, never mind the future. And so I think that to have an opportunity to think about what that means for others and for me in my whatever that agency is, that agency or organisation, and how I can work with others in the climate in which we're operating. I think that's a very valuable thing. So I think that what has been done today is to create a space in which people can work out for themselves how they need to change to meet the future needs.
Medication is necessary and useful in some cases, but it's rarely sufficient, and crucially, relationships of care, of love and of support from family, from friends, from organisations has proved in our case to be crucial in the recovery.
Historically, you've been asked to measure very, very output functional things. Malik talks about love. I could talk about happiness. Years ago, we talked about satisfaction, but how do you measure satisfaction? How do you measure happiness? I think it's good to talk about more subjective things, so we can talk about those things. I think it's accepting that people will have those conversations, and if we can find ways to trust each other and to share the outcomes that we want to achieve for people, then there may be something whereby the networks must understand more how the institutional sectors have to work, but equally we've got to understand the language of those networks and what actually motivates people. And if it's love and trust and happiness and health and those well-being outcomes, that's the language that communities want to talk in, we should be talking in that language also.